It's Oscar season again, bro. What
Oscar season.
what's a movie that uh you thought would be in the Oscars but wasn't?
You know what? Out of all the movies that I watched usually this I use the Oscars to kind of watch, get some of these movies that maybe slip by that I just and they're going to be good movies, and I'll just go through the list and start banging them out, just watching all these ones that I hadn't seen. But out of the ones I did see, and as I'm watching it, and I'm sitting there going like, this is going to do something at the Oscars, and more to come with that because but this movie called Sing Sing, with Coleman Domingo. Have you heard of Sing Sing?
No, but I was going through the list and I kept seeing it come up. And
Yeah, so I
apparently it
mean
was
he
like a surprise that it made it in. People didn't think it was.
no, I think it was the opposite. Like people, it was kind of one of those that was always up there. It was probably going to be in the best picture. Coleman Domingo was probably going to be nominated for a leading role. And the unique part about it is that no, like a lot of the supporting cast had never been in the movie before, because in the movie is about uh, this guy who essentially he's a inmate in prison, and for typical crime, not anything that it's not like he's not supposed to be. No, he's in there, and he inmates acting and putting on plays. So it's like a drama class
In,
in
in
prison.
jail?
Yeah, in prison, and
Holy
that's
sh!
it's based off of a real, real person. They still have this program at that same,
Oh
so
shit!
he plays the leading guy, who put it together, and and you have all the actors in there are people who were essentially got out of prison but were a part of this actual program. So it's him, and then a couple other actors, but like everyone who's an inmate, they're all people who were inmates,
Yeah,
and so that in the movie, and I didn't really know that until I was just like, man, this feels raw. Like it's just the way that they carry themselves, and it just felt very uh, genuine. The movie, and I knew he was going to get something. Like I knew at least Coleman was going to be nominated, and it ended up getting not nominated for the best picture, which I have my thoughts on that, in comparison to some of the other movies that did. But Sing Sing was one of those where I was watching it, and I have those moments. The same thing, with Judd Hirsch, where he was his role in the Fablemans. He ended up winning for the supporting role. But I remember watching that, and I saw the movie with my brother, and I was like, "Damn, that movie was good." And that guy, I don't know, he just stole like that scene that he has in that movie, and it's a that I don't know, dude. He must have a record for like the smallest screen time and winning that award, because he had like that one scene. He was in there for like all of, I don't know, couldn't have been more than 10 minutes, but he had this one scene in this monologue that he has that he killed it. And I knew he was gonna do so, at least nominated or something, and sure enough, he ended up winning it. But I have those kind of movies that I watch, and I have that feeling leaving out of the theater, and that was definitely the one for me. Um, I know you're not a big movie guy, but did you? I know you've seen Dune, right? But
Dune,
like, did you
Dune
catch?
Two,
Have you
Wicked.
Wicked? Yep,
Uh,
yep.
the one I didn't get to see that I really kind of wanted to watch was The Brutalist. That's the one with like Adrian Brody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's got probably the most hype right now, leading into the Oscars. So
yeah.
yeah,
This fucking The Substance, also nominated for Best Picture.
the Substance. Yep, and then that one's unique because it's a horror film.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's still in like the category of horror, and it's being nominated for Best
yeah. Which
Picture.
I've never
Demi
seen.
Moore's
I
is
think
kind
that's
of,
like one of the categories, right? People have been asking them to do.
yeah. I mean, they're still in there, but like they horror films, I don't know what category they pop up in, but like you can see a horror movie in the Oscars.
Yeah, but it's not very common.
Nah, because horror movies aren't really like they don't fit the typical criteria that would be nominated, accepted and nominated by the people that vote for that kind of thing. So, I mean, they're trying to figure out ways to make it more inclusive and uh, honor some of these movies that end up being the most watched. Some of these spectacle type films. Uh, I would argue Wicked's probably done a good job of making that known that it's like this movie could be very popular and also very good. And
Well,
yeah, those
my,
movies like Endgame and all that. That
uh,
it's just like how do you come out with a movie like that and it doesn't get really recognized? Here's visual effects. We'll give you that. It's like it's bullshit. There's got
I
to be something.
I think though there was something special about the substance, in not only that it was like horror, but there was like social commentary in it. I think
Yeah,
at the
it
same
was a smart
time.
movie.
Yeah, and so honestly, it seems like very few other horror movies I've ever seen where there there's a message to like the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I mean, people might not say it, but like I think Event Horizon, that horror movie, there was something to it where it's like the movie was like this gory thing, but at the same time, like it sort of showed you like you have to let go of the past because they're all suffering something of the past and they don't let go, and ultimately it's their fucking downfall.
yeah,
But so I think it's that what you said. It's a smart horror movie where it not only was it able to provide like the body horror, which is something really hard to do, especially with like a lot of
without
movies
making
going
it.
with like digital effects as opposed
Yeah,
to
without making it look like cheap or.
yeah, and so it was really well done. But I think it was like what you said. It was a very smart horror movie.
Yeah, and then it helps having Demi Moore like putting on the performance of a lifetime,
Yeah,
and even Margot Qualley was she killed it. Uh, yeah, I mean it's one of those like you leave it and you're just like I can't get that movie out of my head. You know what I mean? You keep
yeah.
thinking about it, but yeah. So I mean, some people will say that they're a bit surprised by how much it's being represented, but honestly, I'm not really surprised at all. I thought it was great when I came out. Me and my brother went and saw that one, and we both left there and we were like, "What the fuck was that?" You know what I mean? But in a good way. And yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised at all. And Demi Moore is probably the favorite right now to
Dude,
take home that award.
like also speaking of like big actresses, I mean there was also like the Last Showgirl with Pamela
Yeah,
Anderson. I'm
that
just
was
kind of
good.
surprised that one didn't get anything.
Yeah, yeah, because
Even like
it kind of has that. I don't know, like it has that typical story behind it. It's a comeback story for her. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know if like her past, affected the way that people decided. It could also be that just the people that are nominated were. It was kind of it's tough. You're going up against stiff competition, and the other nominees were also really fucking good, dude. So I don't, you know,
this is one of those difficult years to like fit everybody in.
I'll tell you this much: the ladies killed it, man. Like
Yeah,
in terms of the movies that have come out and it being represented in the best picture and also the actresses themselves, supporting actresses.
uh,
I mean, that was I think pound for pound those performances. And not even to me, not even close on some of those categories between the men and the women. Overall, as far as like the strength of the performances, but yeah, they killed it. They killed it. I mean, let's go through. Well, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. And we're not going to go into like the every single category, but just some of the bigger ones. But I do want to bring up the nominees for the animated feature film and what you think. Um, first of all, have you seen any of these movies? But you have the best animated feature
Wild
film,
Robot and Inside Out too.
Wild Robot and Inside Out 2.
I
Okay.
didn't think Wild Robot was gonna make it, but
Here's the thing, man. Like that one to me, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I don't even think it's close, dude. I
yeah,
think the Wild Robot is the best animated feature film because
I
at the end of the day, I can see people them giving it to Inside Out too because it does what Inside Out one does, but in a different type of
for
way.
a teenager
And
now.
that one, yeah, they're a teenager, but they also dig into that stuff, and it's also a smart movie, and they tend to lean towards those kind of really clever scripts and movies. But the Wild Robot, man, like that one makes you feel something when you go and watch it, right? Like it really digs into that vulnerability in the human being, so when you leave that, especially because it's at the end of the day it's about motherhood, and we can all connect with that at the end of the day. So and
That's true.
it's the one movie out of all these that actually made me feel something, and which is hard to do in an animated feature because it's animated. But Inside Out 2, I wouldn't be surprised if it does take it home. But you have Flow, Memoir of a Snow, which is also these are all good movies. They're all good movies. Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that
know
one's
if
on
that one.
Netflix. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. The Wallace and Gromit one.
It's solid. It's solid. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even. If it wasn't there, I wouldn't be upset about it. But you know, to me, this is a two horse race between Inside Out 2 and the Wild Robot, and I'm leaning towards Wild Robot for reasons I just said. But
Bro, I'm
um,
looking at Memoirs of a Snail. That's a tragic comedy.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is crazy. You know, I might have to watch that one too. I the,
that one is
the
good.
the thing with a lot of these is like they didn't have like super big promotional budgets because I wasn't even aware that Wallace and Gromit made a movie last year until this. Netflix
Uh,
never even said like, "Hey, there's a Wallace and Gromit movie out now."
yeah. You cannot make the animated feature film category. There's only so many you know what I mean, that
Yeah,
it's just as long as it's kind of like it's like when Paddington 2 was nominated. Paddington 2 is a really fucking good movie. But it's not like a ton of people wouldn't go watch it, and it's an all timer if you haven't.
yeah,
You should, but it's kind of like one of those below the radar type films, and that can get in there in a category like a feature film. But I mean, you saw the Wild Robot, you saw Inside Out too,
yeah. Or
and which one? I mean, again,
I also Inside Out 2, I wasn't really able to relate either. Again, I think it was because it's more like the subject matter and it's something I'd already gone through and all that, you know. I'm not a kid going through puberty or through the that stuff. So I digged it. I dug it, but it wasn't like, "Oh my god, life-changing for me."
I left out of that thinking like, okay, this is good. Is it better than the first one? Probably not. Like but it was still good though. And to me, again, that's why when I left the Wild Robot, it's just the feeling coming out of that. It sticks with you, and that's what I'm kind of clinging on to, and why I would go with that over Inside Out too. But you never know, man. It's the whole Disney engine, Pixar, and
Yeah,
they
that's
tend to
just
dominate.
crazy.
They tend to dominate, but I'm hoping for Wild Robot there. So you don't have a pick between the two?
No, I mean they were good movies. I really liked
Somebody's got to win,
the
Kenny.
and I know, but I
Give me a pick.
mean overall probably more relatable the Wild Robot.
Is that who you
What's on
think's gonna win?
Peacock? I don't. I honestly think Inside Out 2 is gonna win.
Yeah, yeah,
The Disney machine's gonna do it.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be a little bit bummed about that one. I'd be a little bit bummed about that one. I hope Wild Robot takes it. But moving on to, do you have a category you want to get into?
I want to do directing.
That's the one, huh?
Yeah,
So best director,
cause
we got Sean Baker for Nora. We got Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold, The Complete Unknown. That's the Bob Dylan movie.
That
Jacques 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 Audiard for Perez, and Coralie for Joe for The Substance. That's
it's
actually a tough. That's actually a tough one, man, because everyone here did really great.
yeah.
Like all these movies were really good.
The one that kind of I honestly thought Dune 2 would be up for best directing too.
Denis
Which is
Villeneuve.
that's what honestly when
I
I
should have
heard that
let
it didn't
you.
happen and I was like, "What?"
I should have let you introduce him because when you were telling me about it, who would you call him?
Huh?
Would you call the director of Dune 2?
Oh,
What's his name?
fucking Dan- Danny Villeneuve.
You
What I
call him
call
Danny Villanova, and I was like, who are you talking about?
Villa Chevy Nova. I can't pronounce his. I forgot how to pronounce it.
Denis
Villanueva?
Villeneuve, I think he's
Villanova?
French or something like that.
Yeah, and I was
No,
like,
Villeneuve, there is no A in there. But it cracked me up because I'm like, that's it, man. I'm calling him Danny Villanova. It sounds like some kid I went to high school with.
yeah, it's Villanueva, not
There's no A.
Villanova.
It's Villeneuve. Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Yeah. I honestly, I thought he was gonna get it. Uh, I didn't think he would win. Um, but I thought he would at least get the nomination.
Yeah, that's probably if you're looking at like snubs or any kind of articles.
Not
Probably
Danny,
everybody has
Dennis Villeneuve. I
Denis.
don't know why. That's
Dennis
why.
Denis.
That's why. Yeah, I called him Danny.
You call him Danny
Danny
Villanova,
Villanueva.
dude. I was like, hey,
Totally
damn.
butchered his name. Oh,
But it's so great though. I'm calling him Danny Villanova from now on. Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, but yeah, everybody like all these articles will have that as probably one of their bigger snubs.
yeah,
And
but
I agree. I agree.
I mean, the substance had to be there.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that one was great.
Emilia Perez also had to be there. The Brutalist, I knew the Brutalist was going to be there. A Complete Unknown, I haven't watched, and I haven't heard anything about Honora yet.
Oh, dude, you would love Honora. I'll just tell you that much right now. You would
Really?
probably, hell yeah.
What's
You
it
even know what
about?
Honora's about?
No. That'll tell you.
So
I hadn't heard
that
about it.
girl. Okay, so do you know who Mikey Madsen is? She's the little girl who she's the girl who was set on. She's first of all she's I'm not even gonna spoil it, but she comes out in the first of these last newer Scream movies. She's one of the friends, but
She's
then
the
she
cousin,
also
right? She was.
she's the girl who gets burned alive at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know the three of them that
Oh,
so
damn!
that
That's her. Oh, okay. I know
yeah
exactly who you're talking
that's
about.
her. She plays a stripper in New York, and it's
Oh,
very
word.
like the first like 30 minutes or 40 minutes of the movie is just all in the world of a stripper. There's a lot of nudity, a lot of sex. Anyways,
I know strippers. Shout out to the strippers.
shout out. But but she kills it in this movie. Like she's really good, and it's just a crazy fucking movie. But but yeah, and so she's in there for best actress. I think he's in there for best director too. It's definitely it's being represented definitely throughout. Yeah, it's in best picture too. I
Yeah, that
mean,
one had a
I don't know if
lot of
they'll win.
nominations.
I don't know if they'll win. I think the best chance they have to actually win is probably best original screenplay. But you also dealing, you're going up against the Brutalist, A Real Pain, which is a good movie, September 5th, and The Substance, which I wouldn't be surprised if The Substance wins in that one as well. But yeah, dude, you would love that movie. You would love that movie.
Oh shit! I gotta figure
She
out where
kills
to
it.
watch it.
I don't know if it's streaming yet, but yeah, I saw that one in theaters. That was
It's
really
not. I just looked. Damn.
yeah. But as far as you go, a little tangent there for Nora, but best director, we talked about Sean Baker. No Denny, can't vote for Denny. Can't vote for Denny, but you got Sean Baker and
Honestly, though, but I didn't think Denny would win. I didn't think the movie would win. I don't think
but
it's gonna.
directing wise, that was there's a lot of shit going on there. It's almost like Christopher Nolan coming out with a movie like Interstellar and then him not getting nominated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but again, like you said, like a lot of these movies are fucking fierce. Like,
Yeah, they're good. But see, I a Complete Unknown was good. Don't get me wrong, but we're talking about like best director. I think it's more like the way that they set everything up, and it kind of feels very authentic to the time, and that's probably what got it there. But there's nothing about like the directing part of it where you're sitting there like, damn, that was really great fucking direct. You say that about Dune, you know what I mean? And so
yeah,
that's where I'm kind of a little bit surprised by it. Some of these other movies are just really good movies, and the script is probably what should be getting highlighted more so than the directors in some of these, if you ask me. But Amelia Perez, I get it. Did you see that one?
that's the one with oh my god, Zoe
Selena Gomez.
Saldana and Selena Gomez. I
Yeah,
saw,
Zoe
I
Saldana.
saw, I started watching some of it. I made it like halfway through. I haven't gone too far. Just because I've been busy like this last week. I tried watching it while I was sick, which is why our erratic upload schedule, because I just got over the flu and I just couldn't watch anything during that time. Like I was so foggy in the brain. So I started
So,
watching it. So I haven't finished it though.
but you kind of get honestly to me, it's like that movie. I don't want to say it's overrated, but it's not overrated. Like everyone to me is always outdone as the one that is like the highlight of it. A lot of people are saying that Selena was snubbed from supporting role. I don't agree with that. She was good, but everyone else here on this list just is not even close to me. To
Like
me,
acting wise, or do you
yeah,
think like it was just that the fact that the role might have not lended itself to too much of a highlight of a character to where
it's
even if
that,
they were supporting.
and also it's just like it's almost like the part of the movie it's like we need to have Selena in this, so her character is going to go to Switzerland to live there for 5 years, and that's why her Spanish isn't going to be that great. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mm,
just that you could have gotten somebody else in there who could have also done a great job and was more authentic to what they were doing. I know that's like a thing that's there's a little bit of a controversy with that in that movie where it's all like most of it set in Mexico,
mm.
but a lot of the actors aren't actually Mexican. And so, you got that part of it. It's like I'm not even really buying into that too much. But in her case, I just yeah, what you're talking about the role here, and it's not like I saw her and I was just like, man, she's killing it. You know what I mean? You say that about like Zoe Saldana in that movie more than anything. uh, because and if it wasn't a musical, if it wasn't like also the dancing and the choreography and all that involved in that process, I don't even think she might be in there for supporting actress, and I think that's about it. Uh, you know, the movie. I'm not saying the movie's bad. It's definitely interesting. It's unique. Um, Hell, it might actually win best musical in a year that Wicked came out, which is fucking wild to say. But
I hope not.
I mean, yeah, that's another subject right there.
Eh,
Yeah, we'll get into
I
that. But
hope not. Uh, like I don't know. Sometimes I have thought of when people go like, "Oh, this person was nominated and stuff," and I've thought about it more, especially again since like last year, my revelation after watching fucking what's it called, Poor Things. Sometimes the roles don't lend themselves to nominations. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
sometimes
yeah. The
the
only
the
reason
role moved the movie along, but there was probably nothing there that would have like solidified them as a character that should be remembered forever. Because that's
yeah,
basically I feel like what a lot of these awards are.
I say that you say, and for the most part, I agree with that. And at the same time, it's like I just brought up Judd Hirsch and The Fablemans and him winning Best Supporting Actor, which I'm totally fine with because out of that whole year of watching movies, for some reason that scene stuck out to me and stuck with me, throughout. And so more so than any of the other people he was going up against. And but yet you're talking about like it was like he was only in there for that one scene. and so I'm not mad at it. You know, at the same time, when
Yeah,
someone
but yeah, but
does like
again,
do
that's
that well,
he could
that they
have
stick out.
the way that the role was written could have been like pinnacle. You know, if you could say like, you know, there was something about
Yeah,
that scene that sort of encompassed maybe what the movie was about and all that. I could see that character even if they were only on
that's
scene
what that
for
is.
2 minutes. It meant that like that character was so much more important. You know what
Yeah,
I
like
mean?
if you could wrap up like the whole what is this? What is the meaning of this movie? It probably like he says it in that scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, yeah. And as far as these directors go, if I'm gonna make a pick, oh man, I'm gonna my money would be on the on Brady Corbett for the Brutalist, but I wouldn't sleep on Coralie for Joe and the Substance, man. That
Uh,
one's just like a
I,
sleeper in everything that it's in.
that one I would probably agree with that one. I wish she wins.
Yeah,
That's
it's
gonna be my
tough.
vote.
You can make an argument for any all of them. And I like the Complete Unknown. I did like it, dude. I love any. I love those biopic movies. Although sometimes, you know, at the end of the day, we still haven't seen one as good as Ray. But you know,
Uh, no, and then
Ray was something else, man.
every time I saw Timothy Chalamet, uh,
Chalamet, yeah,
in in any of that Bob Dylan movie, I was like, dude, this guy looks like a doofus.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
Dylan looked like a doofus. You know what I mean?
uh,
Yeah, he did a good job because it's like he's like you see him in you see he's very publicized, right? The actor, and so you see him everywhere, and you're just it makes it all it takes away from the ability. I think that's why some of these great actors like you don't hear from them, you don't see them in interviews, you don't. I think that's by design, man, because they probably they probably feel it takes away from them putting on performances and people accepting those. Because that's the hard part. You're watching that and you're like, it's fucking Timothy Chalamet, you know, whatever.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Chalamet is exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, yeah.
Well, there was a scene where they're singing into the microphone. It's him and I forgot the chick's name. And I saw it and I was like, this motherfucker should be in the Simon and Garfunkel biopic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like I saw
No,
it and I
no.
was like, this is Simon and Garfunkel material right here, bro.
She's one of the
He
ones
has the
that
look.
Monica Barbaro. Yeah, she plays Joan Baez, man. And yeah, I could see why she's nominated. She's kind of like a bit of a scene stealer throughout. But you know, at the end of the day, that movie is kind of
I would have
it's
preferred
like the Joker,
Chalamet get the nomination for Dune 2.
dude.
He made me feel, bro. Especially that last scene when they're fighting, and like he's just fucking something in him, and he's like this.
Yeah,
He's like he finally believes in
I hear you.
himself, and
Yeah, I hear
and
you.
I was like, oh, okay.
I just didn't. I didn't get that, but I get what you're
I mean
saying.
I don't know where he would have won it in a complete unknown, but again that's
You
probably
gotta
because of the
watch
way
it.
I'm
You gotta
watching the
watch it. He
movie.
is good, man. Like he has the voice down. It's a lot of him that's doing the singing and performing. Yeah, they take that kind of shit into account. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
you can transform yourself into what you're portraying, and in this case, like that's why those biopics tend to lend themselves to these kind of nominations because we have the thing we know when we've seen the thing that he's trying to be, and it's just like how good did he do at that? Which is why fucking Jamie Foxx's Ray is still like the pinnacle to me. But
yeah,
you know, as
dude, he
far as
really had the
directing goes,
voice.
the set pieces and all that, yeah, I get it, but I'm not really thinking directing as I leave that movie. So I don't know. They could have been that could have been Denis' spot to be honest. But and at least to get nominated. But you know, they I don't know what they factor into the whole directing part of it. If it was up to me, I'm going Substance, man. I'm going Substance. They're all great. They're all great, man, in their own way. But yeah,
Cool. All right, all
yeah,
right. Well,
specifically thinking directing.
I'll pick you one more movie. Two. Do you think Gladiator should have been nominated for more than just costumes?
No, it was cool. It was fun, but it didn't. Again, like and you're gonna hear me say that a lot. Like I always go back to the way I feel feel leaving a movie. You know what I mean? And Gladiator is one of those. You know, it's like what 300 did, but with a certain type of levity and heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
300 make you kind of that should make you feel. You walk out of there and you're
You're
just
like, I
like you
want
want to
to
start.
fucking kick somebody in the chest.
Yeah, dude, I want to kick the shit out of somebody. Yeah. But it made you want to like. It gave you that feel, and it kind of it does that too because there's like a lot of, the idea of honor and all that. That yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be too cheesy about it, but it's like it makes you want to be like a better man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one of those movies, and to this day, it still gets memed. That's like the way to say that something is lasting, nowadays. But uh, yeah, Gladiator 2 just didn't. I was almost. I think it was just hampered by the fact there was just so much fucking. There was so much shit going on. There were so many villains. There's so many. They're all storylines circling at the same time, and I thought Pedro Pascal was real good. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure if damn, I don't even can't even remember his name right now. The leading actor, Paul Mescal. I was like, I'm
Mm.
not really sure if he sold me. He definitely did. He couldn't. Russell Crowe's one of a kind, man. Like you can't. It's like he couldn't do what Russell Crowe did for the first Gladiator.
He
But
was a really good like showman in the sense of like how he rallied the people and all that shit. He had
he's
like
just
this.
there's something about his voice and his presence. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That just
yeah. Like
you want to follow him.
he felt larger than life.
Yeah, you don't really get that as much from here.
You think it
Pedro
was the
Pascal
actor
was
or the
real good
story?
though. Both, both. I don't think like I think he. I don't know if he was the best for that. Like I understand why he's kind of he's a hot actor right now. Like a lot of he's
Yeah,
being kind of pegged as one of the up and coming type of younger actors. That type of guy that's gonna Christian Bale types and all those. That's really, and he hasn't really done anything that's like too definitely not like big in the sense of like in the box office or anything like that. But he's made some like solid movies that have all been in that fit in that same criteria of like these something that might get nominated at the Oscar. Those kind of movies. So I get why he was there, but he had Denzel Washington. They had like the pieces. A lot of people. Some people were saying he might have been snubbed for his role, and uh, he was good. Don't get it twisted. He was one of the better parts of the movie between him and Pedro Pascal.
but
I
the
would have
movie
loved to see
just
the
wasn't
movie.
enough.
Yeah, like it's almost like I would have rather seen Pedro Pascal be the gladiator, or at least the person who's at the center of that story than Paul Mescal's character, Lucius. But yeah. Nah, I'm not too at the I'm not too mad about it.
Yeah.
It was all
What
right.
What about Nosferatu? They got production design,
That's another one.
cinematography, costumes, and makeup.
Some people say a favorite for cinematography, and let me look at cinematography here. Brutalist.
Cinematography's The Brutalist, Dune
This is where
2,
Dune is in, right?
uh, Emilia Perez, and Maria. Maria, another one that I haven't seen.
There's a lot of subtle shit in Nosferatu and the way that the cinematography is that I don't know if people will recognize it or like be able to. It's like you really have to watch and have that in mind as you're watching to see some of the. I wouldn't be surprised if that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Dune 2 one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Brutalist one. I mean,
I
give me any one of those. But
I
Nosferatu, I'm a little bit. I get why they didn't necessarily make it to the best director, but that's a tough one to be honest.
damn. Because it had a fucking really dope cast. Willem Dafoe, bro, love it.
Willem Dafoe always. It's like he's like that guy. Like all these actors, like James Gunn has Michael Rooker. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You have these the
and his
Coen
brother.
brothers. Yeah,
Huh. I like Robert. What is it, Robert Eggers movies? Eggers is Eggers.
yeah, Eggers, yeah. I
Yeah,
love
I
the
like his
Lighthouse,
movies.
man.
The Lighthouse. Yeah, that was one of the good ones. The Witch, dude. The
Which,
Vavitch is fucking sick.
yeah, yeah. Dude, and some people, and weirdly enough, like the one that got like the least, it's considered like I guess the least, not as great as the other ones, which was probably the Northman. But funny thing about the Northman is that's probably the most rewatchable one. And his movies aren't the type that you like watch them and you want to see them over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
You experience
But
them once and then it sticks with you. You're like,
yeah, yeah,
it's here now.
yeah. But the Northman's one of those because it has that kind of action to it that you can go back. Let me sit down and watch this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, cinematography. I mean, I would love it if Nosferatu won, but there's also Dune 2 in there, and there's a lot of great
Yeah.
cinematography in that.
The cinematography in the when they're tripping, those scenes are fucking very. I like them
Yeah, yeah.
when they're tripping on the blue dye.
I'm gonna throw this out there, man. I know you love Timothy, Shamalama, but honestly, man, I almost want to say he's probably the weakest part of the movie for me. And I only bring it up because it's like I think that really affected the movie and how well it did
I,
this time of year.
as an actor, I liked the role, and
The role is great. Yes.
yeah, I liked the role. That's what I liked about it. Like, I'm sure there could have been somebody out there who would have done a better job. I don't know who it would
Yeah,
have
it's like
been,
I couldn't
but
even think of.
but I could have seen that role being like super great, like almost like a fucking Mark Hamill as
I
Luke
mean, yeah,
Skywalker.
so that's exactly what I was gonna say right now. Dude. I
Yeah,
was like, that could he could have been a Luke Skywalker, but it's like that's why I think the persona outside is like you got to just stay away, man, because I think it's hurting him. Like he comes out in way too much like interviews and all,
yeah,
and he's always on Paris Fashion Week type shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just you see him so much that you're just yeah, it affects it. Let's get back on. Let's put the train back on the tracks. All right, best director. You got to pick there. You got to pick.
for director.
Yeah, let's just go with the one that you would want to see, or we could say the one that you think you're gonna see. It's up to you.
I want to say I want to see uh, Coralie Fargeau win.
Yeah, substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. All right, so we're on same page there with the director. Let's do best actor supporting role. Supporting role, and we'll just quickly because I'll be honest with you, out of like all the categories that we're gonna go through, this is probably the weakest one to me. You got some
The,
great. It's not like that they're bad. Again, they're not bad performance, but in comparison to everything else we're looking at, it's like there were some good performances there. I've seen all these movies that these actors are in. The surprise is probably Yuri Borisov for Nora, and he was good. He was good in that, but I think he was kind of. It's one of those kind of like his character doesn't really speak much, and yeah, so he might be hampered by that. But it's great that he got nominated. Relative unknown, pretty much. So you got some of the favorites are probably and probably between Kieran Culkin and A Real Pain, which I believe is on Hulu now, which
yeah,
is that one's pretty good too.
yeah.
And him in
I
it,
watched that one.
like he was good.
I like him in anything he's in.
Yeah, yeah.
Scott
He's
Pilgrim.
but he's. I mean, if I just told you that he's kind of a less what the hell's his character in Succession? Roman. He's kind
I
of like
didn't
a
watch
little bit
Succession.
subdued version of Roman. So it's almost like that might affect his chances because kind of like, oh, we've seen something like this before out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I've
Edward
never seen
Norton,
Succession, so.
Pete Seeger, and as a complete unknown. Um, yeah, he was good. He was good. I see why he's there, but mm, to me, the two I'm looking at is Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. I thought he was great, and Jeremy Strong in the Apprentice. And
The Apprentice. Honestly,
have you seen it?
I would have liked to see more of it. No, I haven't had a watch, but I knew what it was about, and I went through the story and all that stuff. So I can see how Sebastian Stan was what's it
He was
called?
good, man. He was good.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
saw
then
from
Jeremy
what I
Strong is
saw, I was like, bro, this guy.
he nails it, right?
Yeah, this
Like,
guy fucking plays quite the idiot.
yeah, he nails it, man. And Jeremy Strong is Ray Cohen. Like yeah, also nails it. But then there's a lot of like physical stuff there where he probably lost a lot of weight to do that movie. So there's a little bit of that, and that tends to uh, lend itself to when it comes to the Oscars. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wins or Guy Pearce. Or even Kieran Culkin because people kind of love that guy. You know what I mean? Like he just
Yeah, he's so fucking lovable, man. Him and his
yeah.
brother, Macaulay Culkin too, dude.
Coley, that's my dude.
The Culkins are so fucking lovable, bro. It's
Yeah,
it's it's like the Olsons, dude. There's just something about him. They're American royalty.
yeah, yeah,
They're
hundred
American
percent.
fucking royalty. The
Yeah,
Kardashians, no. The Culkins and the fucking Olsons, bro.
that's a whole other video for another day. I can spend a shameful amount of time just talking shit on that fam, but another day.
Let's talk
But
about the actresses now.
best supporting actress. This is one of
Well,
the
let's do
one of my
leading role first, no? Or do you want to do supporting actress first?
let's do supporting, and then we'll
Alright,
get into the leaders, and then we'll do
alright.
best picture. Wrap it up. But so supporting actresses, you got Monica Barbaro, complete unknown. She plays Joan Baez.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande
For
in
Wicked.
Wicked.
You know what, dog? I'm gonna say if I didn't see it, and when I saw the movie, I saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well let's just get down the list here. Felicity Jones in The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini in Conclave. You should watch Conclave. I think you, especially with us raised Catholics, you should watch Conclave.
That's
Um,
that, and
on
it's on
Peacock.
Peacock, so I gotta watch that one.
Yeah, and then Zoe Saldana and Amelia Perez. I keep like going back and forth. I'm like, do I
This is
just
the
say it the
English
way I would,
pronunciation.
or
And
yeah, dude, or just throwing the accent in there? I almost feel weird, man. I'm saying it that way because, anyways, yeah, we were talking about Ariana Grande and Wicked. Uh,
This one I could do either Zoe or Ariana.
Zoe, yeah, that to me,
But I
that's
would say Zoe. I don't think Ariana's gonna win it. She did a great job, but I don't know.
yeah, Scene Stealer,
Yeah.
Scene Stealer. She was, dude, you forget like how she's
How
got comedic
unlikable she
chops,
is.
man. Yeah, she's got comedic chops. I think, but honestly, all that fucking. It's the same thing with Timothy, Chalamet, where it's just, it's just she's out there in the public eye so much that there might be that might affect her, like that might affect
Yeah.
her chances of winning. I think they tend to look at some of these other actors that are just, I want to say by the book, but they're almost like that. You get the impression that that this means much more to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not out there doing all this other shit. And so it's just I don't know. Weirdly enough, and not necessarily fair, but uh, yeah, it just might that might be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna go with I'm with you on that one, man. Like
Let's go
I wouldn't
Zoe.
mind it. I would actually love it if she won. But do I think she's gonna win? Probably not. I think Zoe's gonna take that one. Oh, okay. So we're both going Zoe on that one. Although, I mean, we love us some Ariana Grande. I mean, at least honestly, I'm not really a big fan of hers, but in this movie, I thought she was great. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. Let's get into. You're trying to do actor or actress?
Let's do actor since we already did.
All right.
We'll go top,
Moving on
top,
to
top, top.
now the best leading role. actress in a leading role, and you got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Yeah,
Dude, honestly, I loved her in it. Her push for Storm, I'm not sure I'm 100% behind it. I don't
I
think
mean
she'd do
Storm.
a bad job, but I think there would, if they're trying to get like
You know
really
who would have
into
been
the
great if she was younger? Uh, uh,
Halle
Angela
Berry.
Bassett.
Oh, dude, I could totally have seen her being a Storm instead of
Dude,
T'Challa's mom.
yeah.
Dude, she
Like if
could
there
have.
was an older Storm that was a part of a storyline, she would have
Yeah,
killed it. She would have
she
killed
would
it.
have. Bro, if it was old T'Challa and Storm, you know how they get married in the comics,
Yeah,
and then they have a kid, and then their kid becomes a Black Panther.
yeah,
Like I could see Angela Bassett playing Storm,
yeah.
old
100%.
Storm, and then they're passing on
I
the
didn't
what's it
even.
called, the Manson kids.
I haven't even thought about that. It just kind of popped into my head.
Dude,
Uh,
that was such a good cast call right there, bro.
yeah, yeah. That one, the one I always did think about was just like the obvious. You know, if these things were happening around his time, but like Clint Eastwood for Wolverine, when he was younger, just because he fits the actual size. You know what I mean? A little bit
Oh, it's
better,
tiny.
but he also has that bigger than life like personality.
Yeah, that he carries over from like the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all those cowboy
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
He
It's like the
he, he
"don't fuck with me,"
yeah,
type of thing that he has to him. I thought he would have. Yeah, I think he would have
could
killed
have
it.
played Old Man Logan.
Yeah, yeah, he could have. Like, but he's a little bit too old now. But but yeah. So we got Cynthia Erivo. She was good. Dude, that girl can sing. Let's just get
Yeah,
that out the fucking way, man. That last song, dude. Anyways, Carlos Sofia Gasson for Amelia Perez. For obvious reasons there as to like where the challenges that she faced trying to put that get that role together because she plays two roles, right? So she plays
yeah.
two roles from from the opposite sex. So it's kind of the makeup and all that where she was from the beginning. And I here's the thing is like I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who what this movie was about. I just went in there blind. And I was sitting there like, wait a second, is that that can't be the same fucking person? And it's the same person.
Yeah.
And it threw me for a loop, dude. So I get like why it's gotten the
Well,
attention that it
they
has.
did a really good job, sort of like concealing it, like with the lighting and all that. It at the
Yeah,
as much as I saw, I think that was it. Like they really learned how to. They really knew how to frame the scenes. That it
yeah,
was really difficult to tell it was the same person. I mean, then you have the
yeah,
prosthetics and makeup and all that.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
but
was.
I
I
can
was
see why
like,
that with all
Chingao.
the stuff that went into it. But I can see why that movie is where it is now. And is it? See, this is where it gets tricky, man. I'm like, is it she? Is it they? Is it
When we don't know, we stick to they, and
we
then
stick
when we know, we switch it up.
We apologize if that's not the case, but
We are
um,
learning every day.
yes, yes, but yeah. So
We
her,
have Mikey
obviously
Madison.
got a chance. Mikey Madison, I think she might be that thing where she's a bit young. Even though she's great in this, it's like I feel like when it comes to like best actress, it's you got to be really a revelation. Or, if you're young, or usually the older person who's been around, but and puts on a great. It tends. I feel like they get kind of favored a little bit, which is why I do think Demi Moore for the substance is going to end up taking this. But
Yeah.
Fernando Torres and I'm still here. Also great, man. Like that, yeah. To me, I'm gonna say. I mean, my money's just on Demi Moore. She's probably gonna take it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fernando
this
Torres.
is as much as I'd love to see Cynthia take it. I think again, uh, maybe the subject matter to the movie is what's really gonna want to push it over for Demi Moore.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as her performance, because what she had to do in that.
Yeah.
It's a good
the
watch. She goes,
emotion, dude. That
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I
she
was
goes
like,
through a fucking roller coaster. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
that's what I'm
that's what
saying.
you
I think
want.
that's what's really gonna like
Yeah,
outline who
it
she
lends
is in the movies.
itself
God damn.
to these kinds of things. So yeah, I'm going with her.
All right, who's the actors?
Actors, best actor in lead role. We start off with Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. Mm, You got Timothy. I'll get his name right. Chalamet. Chalamet.
I think
I'm gonna
it's
say
Chalamet.
Chalamet. A Complete Unknown. You got Coleman Domingo and Sing Sing. You got Ralph Fiennes. Conclave. Sebastian Stan and The Apprentice. The Winter Soldier.
I don't know. From what you told me, I think maybe Coleman Domingo might take it.
I want Coleman to take it. That just throwing that out there, man. I want Coleman to. Dude, I think
Yeah,
that guy's been great for a long time, and he's never really gotten his due. A lot of people want him to be if they were going to replace Kang or Jonathan Majors Kang. They were saying they're throwing his name out there a
yeah.
lot. So he would have honestly he would have been a great fucking Kang. I'm just saying. Anyways, I want him to win.
Well, I mean,
You're
just
hearing
some of
him.
the shit he was in, he really has that presence.
Yeah, he's got a certain dialect. Like the way he talks is just it's like elegance. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
a certain tone to him. But yeah, I hope he wins. I do hope he wins. And do I think he's gonna win? It's just the Adrian Brody scares me, man.
Yeah.
like
Yeah. And then
man,
movies again, like
he's
you said,
already
movies
won
like
before.
that are
That
fucking.
movie seems to be the front runner for like the best movie, best picture. So when you have that kind of there's usually a correlation there. I hope Coleman wins though. I'm just gonna say that. What you got?
No, I was gonna say the same. When you were just describing the movie, I was like, oh, this dude might take it.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
watch that one too, man. That one's really good.
Yeah.
They're
Sebastian
all good.
Stan, I can see the nomination, but again, I don't see him beating the Brutalist.
Yeah, yeah. He was great.
Yeah.
They're all fucking great. Let's just throw, but like,
Some of these
and
roles are just built different.
yeah, it's just there's some of them. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it is. But those are my two front runners is Coleman and Adrian Brody. I want Coleman to win, but I'm not going to be shocked if it's Adrian Brody. So going into the big finale,
Best picture.
the whole enchilada is I was gonna say the kids say, but the kids don't say that shit
Dude,
anymore.
10 nominees, bro.
Yeah, they bumped it up, man. 'Cause there's just a lot of great movies, dude. I
Dude,
get it.
I don't know how you go down from here.
Weirdly enough, though, the Brutalist is probably gonna win this shit too. And anyone I could see fucking challenging it is. I think there's a world where Wicked can win, man. And then
Yeah.
the substance and the substance, man. Although
Emilia Perez too. I think that's another one where the story itself lends itself to.
it does. There's a lot of great things happening there, but I don't know, man. Like and it's a great movie, man. Like I watched it, but then there's a part of me that's just like I don't know what it is about something about the movie. And I love Zoe in that movie, but there's just something I don't know. I don't
It
know, dude.
lacks somewhere.
Yeah, but no, it was. See, it's kind of tough to
Maybe
say,
because
man.
it was a musical.
But I thought it was a great musical. I thought
Yeah, but just
the
because it's a great
music was
musical
great.
doesn't mean it's best picture worthy.
Yeah. I don't
You know
know.
what I mean? Same. I think that could also be what would
Can't really put
stump
my finger on it.
Wicked.
Yeah, that might be what's holding it back too. And it's not like as if there's these like groundbreaking performances that happen in the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Singing wise, absolutely, but as far as that's what kind of holds it back. Because it's like, unless they had scenes where legitimately can make you feel a certain type of way, maybe bring a tear out your eye, and it did what it did with the music and everything. yeah, I could see something like that kind of. But it's just, the movies. It's the time in between where you're almost like, with the exception of Ariana Grande's character, she was fun to watch on there, but you're almost waiting. You get to the next song and the next, that's where I think it shined the most. But that also might be, the I don't want to say there was a lack of, great scenes in between, but there was just certain parts of it that I was just like,
Yeah,
all
there
right,
were
let's get to
very
the next.
few scenes in between the music that sort of you'd be like, oh, this is for Oscar nomination consideration scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the scene where they were
Yeah,
arresting the
exactly.
animals a little bit, but again, it wasn't that wasn't such a big part of the movie. Which it's actually a fucking massive part of the book. Apparently, the
Oh,
animal
really?
racism is like a
Yeah,
massive part of the book.
it's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There was some parts in it, mostly probably Cynthia is it? Fuck, I already forgot her name. How to say her name? Erivo. Yeah, where she, like the stuff getting into her, her self esteem and how she felt about herself and all that, that kind of stuff. That was probably the closest you could get to that, but everything else was like, and then Ariana Grande being hilarious, you know, that's what that movie had going for it. But
this
and
almost
then
sounds like they
to
got a
top off,
crush on Ariana
Ari- on
Grande.
on Ariana Grande, she's a little bit too skinny for me. But you have the substance. I wouldn't, dude. I kind of want that one. I kind of want to see that one win. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I kind of want to see it win, dude. Just trying to set a precedence that there's horror movies out there that are legitimately great.
it
Nick, I
could honestly revolutionize the horror movies genre. You know,
yeah, yeah.
having more smart horror, sort of
Yeah,
like Black Mirror, where it's like
yeah.
smart horror.
There's a term for it, like elevated horror or something like that, where it's just kind of like the Babadook. Some of these uh, smart type of clever social commentary in there.
Oh, it is. It's called elevated horror.
Yeah,
Hereditary's part of it.
all the Jordan Peele movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get Out, Midsommar.
Get Out's probably like the one that set the tone, right? Like but this is different. This is, Get Out was more of like a thriller than a psycho. It was like a psychological, like a what is it? Psychological thriller more so than a horror film. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get it's horror to African American community, but well, as far as the overall story, but it's not like I'll say traditional horror film.
yeah.
In this case, you have this is body horror, and with some social aspects behind it. Super smart movie, and directing wise, the scenes were like perfection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the cut scenes. And weirdly enough, we're talking about a little bit about the challengers not getting here. Challengers that's what they had going for it was, to me, the directing part of it. The actors were good. The actors were pretty good too, but the directing part of it and the way it kind of like it kept me energized in a weird way. That movie,
The
it was
music.
the music, yeah, the music, 100%. Uh, and so the substance kind of has some of that in it too. Nickel, I'll be honest with you, I had not seen Nickel Boys, although I do plan to see that one, so I can't really say for that one. I'm Still Here is really good, like really fucking good. Uh, that's one of those that you kind of, it makes you go through a roller coaster of emotions in it. Emilia Perez, obviously there's some like a lot of technical stuff there with the musical aspect. Dune 2, I mean, let's face it, these as cool as a movie as it was, it was like probably blockbuster wise, it was probably one of the more impressive ones. Uh, it's good to see it represented. I will say that, but yeah, it's just I feel it always feels like a long shot with
Yeah.
like a blockbuster movie in these kind of categories. Conclave, very racy, not racy, like it has to do with it's basically the what is it the days after the Pope passes away, and
The
the
Seven
conclave,
Days.
the 7 days deciding the next Pope, and all the politics and possible corruption that goes on between that time. So that's kind of where that. So you can see how it kind of how it's it is a good movie, man.
Yeah.
Great performances.
Raphael Fiennes, dude, I really like him.
Yeah,
He's a good actor.
Voldemort.
Oh.
But Voldy. Anyways, Complete Unknown. You have the whole Bob Dylan biopics. They're always as long as they're not bad. They probably have a
Yeah.
good shot of just getting nominated for something.
It's just an honor to
Yeah,
be nominated.
yeah, yeah. It was good. No, dude, I love music and I love movies and I love when they put them together. So I went to see that by myself and I loved it, man. I thought it was good. But The Brutalist, fucking really good movie, dude. Yeah, it's one of those if it does win, you watch it and you're just like, I get it, I get it.
I get
It's you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah,
like
I know
it
exactly
is.
what you mean.
It's a good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Honoro, which is just again, it's I would if I could compare it to anything, it would probably be like Uncut Gems. Just kind of builds that anxiety in you as it goes, and the performances were really good too. So at the end of the day, if I'm going to make a pick, my pick is probably The Brutalist, but I want The Substance.
Same. I feel Brutalist is gonna take it. I think Brutalist is gonna be the big winner this year.
Yeah, yeah. Which I can't be mad at because again, it's just a fucking good movie. But
Yeah.
The
Fucking
Substance
Adrian
has my
Brody's
heart.
such a good actor, dude.
What do you want me to say? It has my heart. Yeah, I do. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. But the ones that I want to see The Substance win, and I want to see Coleman Domingo win for Best Actor. But we'll see. We shall see. Any other
No, that was it. That was it for
notes here? I mean, well, when is this shit even gonna happen, anyways?
me. March 5th, I believe.
Oh, damn, that's your boy's birthday. That's a Wednesday.
March 2nd, sorry.
Oh, damn it. Well.
A couple days before the boy's birthday. Oh, we have a watch birthday party. Live tweet this shit.
Oh, you want to
Live reaction?
Oh, it's just us. We'll
Ah!
have some drinks.
Yeah. We can do it. We'll be back.
Just say, take a shot. We'll do play. We could do the Oscars drinking game. What's a good Oscars drinking? Take a shot every time.
Every time your pick loses.
I was gonna say every time some like fucking cliche shit that people at the Oscars always do.
Or say. Like to thank God.
Oh, every time somebody goes past the time and you start getting the wrap. Every time the wrap
Oh,
up.
the
music
wrap it
comes on.
up? Oh, I love the wrap it up, bro. Wrap
That
it up
shit is
gold.
stupid, dude. Just a quick. We'll end it on this. I fucking cannot stand the rap. I get it because it's become somewhat of a thing. Like it's just the wrap it up music. But in this day and age, dude, where these things, I get okay if it's live, the live part of it, I understand.
This shouldn't be a TV thing anymore. This should be a fucking like a
Streaming.
Twitch streaming thing.
Yeah, no, like it's just
That way
it
it could
comes
be
out
as
on fucking Disney
long.
Plus or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let us just hear what these people have to say. Like, dude, it's their moment. You know what I mean? I can't stand. To me, it just feels so fucking rude. You know what I mean?
It does. It's kind of a buzzkill too. Like you're fucking riding the high of like fucking
You're seeing your movie that
academic
you love.
Academy
Yeah.
Awards, bro.
Yeah, but
And they cut
and
you
you're
off.
sitting there trying to talk about your mom and your dad and and all that, and the next thing you know, they're like, "That's enough." What the fuck?
Who was it the last time they cut their microphone?
Oh, dude, I can't remember.
And then they turn
know
it
what
back
you're
on
talking
because everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, everybody's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah, no, and it was Michelle Yeoh, dude, and she was just like, "You guys better not fucking cut me off." Like she straight up was like, and I wouldn't want to cross her, but yeah, no, dude, they need to stream it, Disney Plus. They do it for like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That shit was like 3 hours plus, but for someone like me who's into that, it's not like people are fucking clamoring to watch the Oscar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's stupid. It shouldn't. It
people
shouldn't
that
be on
want to
TV
watch
anymore.
it are gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dumb.
I mean, I get it. If you want to do like an edited, see, but you can't fucking edit it. That's the problem because it's live or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't think it
You
needs to be a
could.
live
You
stream.
could fucking you do it Saturday, and then you air it Sunday.
Yeah, that's what
For
I'm
the people
saying.
who
Like,
didn't
yeah,
want to watch it live
that's
or
what
who
I'm
wanted
saying.
the
Like,
cut down, you could do that shit.
we don't need to watch it live. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be, watch it cut down on TV if you're going to put it on regular TV and then release it on whatever, Disney Plus. Let people watch the whole thing with all the interviews. And then fucking release the full interviews on you as YouTube videos and all that
Oh, dude,
too.
they would make so much money. Just people
Yeah, I'm
watching
just saying.
putting the speeches online would be fucking lucrative.
Yeah.
But they don't want money.
No, they
Fuck
don't.
them.
Fuck them.
Well, it on that.
Well, those are our picks.
Let us know
I got no-
yours.
I got nothing.
We should. You know what? We should probably stream watching the Oscars. We don't have to show them. We just talk about what's going on.
Yeah, we could do it. What day is that? What day is that? A Sunday?
It's a Sunday. Jam and Kenny fucking first live stream.
First live stream. Yeah, I'm down for that.
All right.
Well,
Leave you
everybody,
in peace.
peace.